Hey guys, it's Clay from Clear Critique, and it's time again to talk about some new movies coming out. But which movies deserve your time and money? Here are 5 upcoming movies of December 2021. As per usual, I'm ranking each prospective film a watch, wait a while, or avoid. And of course, toss me a subscribe if you want to support the channel. Let's get to it. First is the new film version of West Side Story. I'm a bit torn on this one. The original film is so iconic that remaking it feels as inexplicable as a tramp stamp saying #MeToo. It's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but why do it? If it ain't broke, don't Tanya Harding its legs, Disney. And yet, this is directed by Steven Spielberg, and while his projects over the past decade have wavered between decent and questionable, there's no doubt he's a man of fine-tuned skill. And based on the trailer, this version not only looks beautiful, but dynamic. It's a $2 word, but what I mean is that West Side Story has to pop. The songs are good, the story is tragic, but what made the film so special is its cinematography and color. It's a film that feels alive, it moves, it has energy. Spielberg knows how to do this. He knows how to craft quick, engaging sequences, knows how to capture a sense of wonder. And you can see much of that in this trailer, in its framing, camera angles, and especially production design. If I did have one issue, it's that it almost looks too polished in a few places, a bit too much of that artificial blue, but I have no doubt that in terms of spectacle, this will dazzle many. As for the songs, we only get hints of them in the marketing, so there's not much to say, and what I've heard sounds fine. Maybe I'll watch it just to get the taste of Cinderella out. Oh, that was awful! West Side Story comes to theaters December 10th, and I'm gonna give this one a wait. Next is The Tragedy of Macbeth, the new film from Joel Coen, his first film after Ethan Coen retired from filmmaking. As a critic, it'll be interesting for me to see how half a team functions after so many years of creative cooperation. And while adapting Shakespeare isn't exactly daring, the look and casting turned my head. Macbeth as a character has confidence, has an ego, yet is easily manipulated by his venomous, power-hungry wife. So when you think naive man and covetous wife, your first thoughts probably aren't Denzel Washington, who plays unshakable better than most, and Frances McDormand, who I don't believe has ever played a villain. In addition, the entire thing is black and white and has a surreal quality to it. This I like. Macbeth, Hamlet, horny teens and their wacky families, these have been done to death, and you gotta bring something new to the table. It's a very short trailer, but the film has earned stellar reviews from critics thus far. Personally, I prefer movies inspired by Shakespeare rather than straight adaptations because of the florid and, yes, outdated language. I still haven't seen it performed naturally in a film outside of choice scenes. It's not the material I'm excited for as much as the bold choices I've mentioned. The biggest highlight for me is seeing Denzel play someone a bit lost or self-destructive. It's rare to see, and great when it happens. The Tragedy of Macbeth comes to theaters December 25th with a January release on Apple TV, and I'm gonna give this one a watch. Next is Matrix Resurrections, the last remake or sequel I'll be discussing today because holy shit is this getting out of control. Scream 5? Seriously? Are studios simply pushing out inferior remakes and sequels rather than support artist-focused content because it's easier? Or do audiences have lower standards and want nothing more than a direct injection of familiarity into their cerebral cortex? Both? It's both. It's both. Anyway, yeah, Matrix 4, cool, fucking radical. I'm sorry, this looks kinda bad. The colors are washed out and boring, some of the CGI looks like shit, and none of the cinematography sparks in any way. It doesn't look intentionally artificial like the green palette in the first film, but fake and uninspired. Not a stone's throw from any other action blockbuster. And the whole appeal of The Matrix wasn't just that it was well written and shot, but it was fresh. Granted, its similarities to Dark City border on plagiarism, but even with that, it was revolutionary. Look, call me a hater, that's fine, but what is there to grab me? The fact it's a sequel? We've had 2 already, and outside of one car chase, they're god-awful.
I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up.
Bland. That's what Matrix 4 looks like, from title to trailer, from visuals to concept. It's ironic that a film about someone unplugging from false comfort now has a third sequel, cashing in on familiar characters and tropes. The hype for this is a blue pill. No, I'm not gonna hop upon the hype train if it looks like a dull ride and the last two fucking crashed. I just lost so many viewers. Matrix 4 hits theaters December 22nd, and it gets an avoid. Next is The Lost Daughter, a new movie about, well, you know, I'm not 100% sure. The trailer does precisely what it should when advertising a thriller: establish story concepts rather than list all the main events, and focus on imagery and mood. I can glean that this is about a woman becoming obsessed with a younger woman and her family, and that there might be some psychosis going on. Family as a theme is shown in different lights, both as a desire and a yoke. The trailer also gets good mileage out of small events that effectively make one uneasy. Promising stuff here overall. The movie is the directorial debut of Maggie Gyllenhaal, and to me, the one leg up actors have when delving into directing is that they know how to pull strong performances. And this cast is a dream in that regard. Dakota Johnson has proven that she can do more than act as a doll being repeatedly squished against another doll and delivering pitiful dialogue when surfacing for air. Jessie Buckley captures inner turmoil shockingly well, and Olivia Colman is someone to keep an eye on because she has been delivering one incredible performance after another. You know the acting will deliver, and the story provides lots of opportunities for tension and even macabre content. Critics are digging it, and if for nothing else, I'm gonna watch it to see if We Need to Talk About Kevin can be topped as the scariest film for all the mommies out there. And even if it's not really disturbing, which is what I want, it will likely be an acting showcase. The Lost Daughter has a limited theatrical release December 17th, and then comes to Netflix on the 31st for some reason, and I'm gonna give this one a watch. Last up is Nightmare Alley, the new film from Guillermo del Toro based on the book by the same name. The trailer is a little weird. I love me some Willem Dafoe, but his voice sounds like he's doing a voice, you know?
This creature has been examined by the foremost scientists.
I also expected the visuals to be a bit more intriguing. I will say that the choppiness of the trailer does not help. The text interrupts anything potentially interesting, like a crypto enthusiast in any conversation. One thing I am excited for is that the source material this is based on is about a hypnotist. And the only film I felt tackled hypnosis well was 1997's Cure. Psychological manipulation might be hard to convey on film, but in a carnival setting, there are plenty of possibilities. The cast is fantastic. I mean, come on, Cate Blanchett, Toni Collette, Bradley Cooper, not to mention the absurdly underrated Richard Jenkins. The marketing, purely what they're showing, is underwhelming to me, but the fact is that there is always a reason to watch a Del Toro film. Whether they're misfires or masterworks, they're worth watching for the worlds they place you in. It's not a perfect trailer, but it's sure as hell better than Uncharted's double flush offering, and there is more than enough in concept and roster to recommend. Nightmare Alley hits theaters December 17th, and it gets a watch. So what would your ratings be for these movies? Let me know in the comments, and also throw any recommendations for other movies or topics to cover. Subscribe, share the video, all the support really means a lot, and check me out on Letterboxd and Twitch. And as always, thanks for watching.